This is dangerous. Sparkle motion up the top, goes for the pin!
All it takes is one phone call to change a pro wrestler's life forever. AEW owner Tony Khan has brought in plenty of new talents over the years, but we think he ought to give these free agents a ring and bring them to national TV. After making his debut in 2002, Hallowicked became a haunting presence in Chikara from the promotion's start that year until their unceremonious closure in 2020. The Nightmare Warrior also appeared in Evolve, Ring of Honor, and Dragon Gate USA, but his biggest accomplishments came in Chikara. That's where he became the inaugural Young Lions Cup champion, a Campeón de Parejas, a two-time Grand Champion, and the winner of the 2003 Tag World Grand Prix and 2012 King of Trios tournaments. The wrestler known as the Broadsword of Naz Muldoon didn't build up a resume like that without putting in hard work. Just like Sting was the franchise player for WCW, Hallowicked was the franchise player of Chikara, and he never really got the recognition that he deserved outside of the Chikarmy. If he were given a chance in AEW, he could show the whole world his impressive arsenal of skills, many of which he passed on to wrestlers working today during his time as a trainer at the Chikara Wrestle Factory. Plus, with the recent introduction of the AEW Trios Championships, the spooky-faced brawler from Sleepy Hollow could join forces with any combination of his longtime partners, Ultramanus Black, Frightmare, or Delirious.
Oh glory, Naz Muldoon!
The Party Unicorn emerged on the scene in 2015, but it wasn't until 2017 that Laynie's Party turned into a rager. Chicagoland promotions including Zello Pro, Rise, and Freelance Wrestling started to feature her prominently on their shows. She also appeared in Booker T's Reality of Wrestling in Texas. Laynie's ring time and training really paid off in 2019 when she defended the Zello Pro Women's Championship against Shotzi Blackheart and Kylie Ray at an Impact Wrestling event. Along with her partner GPA, Laynie has shown that she can have layers to her character. She has gone from the fan-favorite, fun-loving party girl to one of the biggest heels in freelance right now. In 2021 and 2022, Luck got opportunities in ROH and AEW to show a larger audience how entertaining she can be. With such a deep well of talent in AEW to learn from, she has the potential to be the next AJ Lee or Bayley if given the right storyline. More importantly, she'll be the first Laynie Luck, and that's something that the AEW audience should see. As recent tag team champs in Revolution Pro and Progress in the United Kingdom, the Sunshine Machine have brought the good times back to wrestling. Chuck Mambo and TK Cooper have spent a good amount of time in stables and other tag teams throughout the years, but since coming together in 2019, they have proven that they are a winning combination. Not only do they have the skills to form a championship caliber tag team, but they've also shown that they have plenty of charisma and in-ring prowess. They almost have a similar vibe to WWE teams RK Bro or Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. While they haven't made their way to America as a team just yet, fans in the USA can watch their matches in Progress Wrestling on Peacock. Tony Khan should take a peek and bring the Sunshine Machine to AEW. There's plenty of competition there for the young guns to step up to between the ropes. With a bit more seasoning, they could even make great opponents for FTR or the Acclaim. All Elite Wrestling fans may recognize Janai Kai as Thunder Rosa's student who challenged Jade Cargill during the build-up to the TBS Championship Tournament semifinals. But the Kick Demon has a lot more to offer Tony Khan's company than a 5-minute squash segment and a few matches on Dark. After making her debut in 2018, Kai spent most of her time in American Combat Wrestling and other indies in Florida. She started to blow up after her stint in Rise, where she faced off with Big Swole, Rosemary, and Ray Lynn. After a light 2020, she hit the ground running in 2021, appearing in GCW, ROH, Beyond Wrestling, Shimmer, Warrior Wrestling, and many other promotions. Like current AEW star Kyle O'Reilly, Kai incorporates mixed martial arts into her professional wrestling. Her striking game is unparalleled right now thanks to her proficiency in kickboxing and Muay Thai. With her level of violence and technique, she might be the perfect fit for the Blackpool Combat Club. Her bloodied smiling face after a knockdown, drag-em-out brawl would be the type of thing to make the BCC proud. While they can work singles, Matt Fitchett and Davy Vega have proven to be a winning tag combination for many years. The Besties in the world have collected nearly a dozen tag team championships and promotions including AAW, Black Label Pro, and Evolve. And the fans can get in on the act too. for one of the most wholesome entrances in professional wrestling today. A sing-along to Truly Madly Deeply by Savage Garden, complete with synchronized choreography. The Besties have faced Jay Lethal and Satnam Singh on Rampage, and Swerve in Our Glory on Dark Elevation. But the real money feud here is against Best Friends. Tony Khan could hopefully license Savage Garden's song, then determine who the bestest friends in pro wrestling are once and for all. They've faced each other before, but these incredibly underrated wrestlers have gotten a lot better. They could end up blowing a lot of people away, or at the very least deliver a match that's entertaining on multiple levels. Then when it's all said and done, the two teams could join forces after showing the world the power of friendship. As Excalibur says, you gotta give the people what they want.
And another big hug. Oh!
AEW currently has an eclectic group of talent on its roster. What else do you call a locker room with the likes of a living dead girl, a wrestling dinosaur, a wizard, and a cowboy, among others? But there's no one like Max the Impaler on AEW TV right now. Hailing from the wasteland, the non-binary Nightmare has been a dominating force on the independents since making their debut in 2018. Like the Legion of Doom before them, Max has borrowed some aesthetics from the Mad Max franchise to carve a path of destruction from the IWA Mid-South to OVW to Rise, among other promotions. But the imposing Max took their talents to a larger stage when they started appearing in ROH's Women of Honor division. That propelled them to opportunities in NWA, Pro Wrestling Eve, Progress, and eventually Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Max had the chance to don their war paint for an AEW crowd on Dark Elevation in 2022. They faced Nyla Rose in a good old hoss fight and teamed with their Wasteland War Party companion Heidi Howitzer against Nyla and Marina Shafir. Though Max was on the losing side of those contests, it seems like there's a lot more that they could do against the former AEW Women's Champion. Allysin Kay and Marti Belle have been dominant forces in women's wrestling for some time now. Separately, they each have impressive resumes across multiple promotions. They also have plenty of televised wrestling experience thanks to Impact and NWA, so countless fans have had the opportunity to see them work over the years. But when they came together as the Hex and won the NWA Women's Tag Team Championships, they brought each other to the next level. Ideally, these women would sign with the company with a thriving women's tag division to continue to assert their dominance. AEW doesn't have one right now, but a number of teams are starting to form. TJ, Marina Shafir and Nyla Rose, Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, and Penelope Ford and the Bunny have all shown that the boys don't exclusively rule the roost in tag team wrestling. With the addition of the Hex, maybe Tony Khan could kickstart a proper women's tag division in his company, complete with title belts.
I mean, we had this in the bag.
Few wrestlers know how to have fun like gentleman Jervis Cottonbelly, another mainstay of Chikara during its heyday. The world's sweetest man would politely shake hands and use good manners in between delivering a thumping to his unsuspecting opponents. His whole act with the bowler hat, put on English accent, and bright yellow mask with a monocle could be cartoony to some, but like Bailey's early run, he proved that you don't need to be hardened and cynical to succeed in wrestling. Cottonbelly told ESPN in 2017, "I think being nice is punk rock, and I am Sid Vicious." But if vicious is what you need, another side of Jervis has emerged. He recently revealed himself as Kevin Condren under the mask. Rather than maintaining the illusion that these two polar opposite characters were different people, he shared that they are just two sides of the same coin. If Tony Khan were to add Jervis to the AEW roster, he'd be getting two excellent performers for the price of one. As Cottonbelly, he could be a sweet comedic presence, and as Condren, he could be a detestable pest as a wrestler or a manager. Matt Cross is another ring veteran who probably got his biggest spotlight under a mask on Lucha Underground. The former Son of Havoc is a pioneer of the independent wrestling scene that thrived in the early days of promotions such as ROH and CZW. Cross has more than 1,000 matches on his cage match profile, but he's not done with his 20-plus year career yet. He even has an AEW connection. He wrestled MJF in the first match at All In, the show that jump-started what would become AEW. Cross can reignite old rivalries, create new ones, and win even more championships if given the opportunity. He can also be a valuable resource for the younger talent that are still learning the ropes. Delilah Doom brings a kinetic and infectious energy every time she steps up and down into the ring. With her battle cry of, "Doomies never say die," the frenetic 1980s-style fitness instructor is incredibly resilient. Doom has been jazzercising her way around the scene since 2014. In that time, the rainbow-colored competitor has traveled to promotions such as Reality of Wrestling, GCW, Limitless Wrestling, Rise, and Shimmer to challenge the likes of Shotzi Blackheart, Britt Baker, Rosemary, and current NXT Women's Champion Roxanne Perez. She's even appeared on WWE and Impact Television. With her wealth of experience, determination, and totally tubular personality, the perennial underdog would certainly stand out on Tony Khan's roster. Her positive attitude and championship-winning work ethic could add an extra dash of sparkle to AEW's presentation. But the Queen of Aerobic style isn't all flash. Like Willow Nightingale or Danhausen, she knows how to have fun, but also has a dark side that could be unleashed when needed. As she's shown recently as the Santino Bros Wrestling Inner-City Champion, Doom can evolve and adapt, which is a valuable asset.
I am so ready. I've tried so many new things.
Tag team wrestling has always been a top priority for AEW, with a mix of veteran teams and young up-and-comers wowing the crowd. If Tony Khan were to bring in the Pacific Northwest C4, he could potentially hit the jackpot again like he did with the Acclaimed in Top Flight. Cody, Chhun, and Guillermo Rosas are relatively new as a team. They've only been teaming together since 2018, and their ascent to the top of promotions like Defy and Prestige came to a screeching halt because of the pandemic. But since returning to the ring, C4 has defeated prominent teams including Reno Scum, PP Ray, The Workhorsemen, and Violence is Forever. They won a 4-way match in February 2022 to become the first ever Prestige Wrestling Tag Team Champions. While they may have lost those titles to Midnight Heat, they still have the undeniable charisma and dynamic in-ring skills to bounce back and be better than ever. Part of that is traveling to new territories to learn and grow. Maybe a stint in AEW can elevate them to the next level. Booker T's Reality of Wrestling has produced a number of bona fide superstars over the years. If 2021 and 2022 are any indication, the next one is absolutely going to be Bryan Keith. After primarily competing for the WWE Hall of Famers promotion, he finally branched out of Texas and started appearing in freelance wrestling, GCW, Garden State Pro Wrestling, Limitless, and many more promotions. While Keith's intensity and Eastwood-esque demeanor draw you in, his in-ring skills do all the talking. The Lone Ranger has a well-rounded arsenal of attacks, so he's prepared for anything. Whether it's a star-making bout against Yuya Oimura or a multi-person scramble match, Keith will grab your attention and keep it. If Tony Khan wants a buzz-worthy competitor, there are so many dream matches to be made for the aggressive Keith in AEW. Wheeler Yuta, Lee Moriarty, and Konosuke Takeshita come to mind immediately as potential opponents. By pitting him against people like Samoa Joe, Powerhouse Hobbs, and Eddie Kingston would also be incredible.